Okay, so in this video you're going to learn how to make a dot plot using Google Sheets. The first thing you're going to want to do is to get your data from each of the teams individually for the offensive linemen and paste it into either a new sheet or a new workbook, whichever you prefer. Probably a new worksheet would be better. Then you have to make sure they're sorted so you can see if there's any duplicates. What we're going to be doing is using a scatter plot to create this dot plot, and we need an X and a Y coordinate. So we have to add an additional coordinate here to match where it will be in our graph. Now all you're going to have to go through and do is indicate how many of the same values you might have. For instance, 201, we only have one of those. 209, we have one. For 212, we have two different values, so we're going to call the first one 1 and the second one 2. In this way, when it Google Sheets goes to make the graph, it's going to put a point at 212 1 and 212 2, which means there'll be dots one on top of the other. So we continue down the sheet. 220 has 3, so the first one would be 1, second one 2, third one 3. And the rest have just one data value. Once we have that part completed, we will highlight both columns because scatter plots need an X and a Y coordinate. And we will go to Insert Chart. They're not recognizing that we want to do the scatter plot, so we go to Charts, click on Scatter, and this is what the basic one will look like. We will insert it, and then we can start adjusting it to make it look more like what we want it to look like. We can delete the legend. We really don't need it. We can make things a little wider. We can go back into the advanced edit where we can do things like the chart title. So if this were Wisconsin's team, we could enter Wisconsin. If we scroll down to the axes, the label for our horizontal axis is for weight. That is what we are graphing. Now here's where we can set the minimum and the maximum. I'm probably going to set the minimum at 190, maximum 320. I'm going to say update. Now it's starting to look a little bit better like a dot plot. However, I don't need these numbers. I would like this to be a little more squished together. So I'm going to say move and resize and make it look a little more like a dot plot. Still don't have the axes the way we want it to. So go back into advanced edit. For the major grid lines, right now it's set at 5 different points are going to be labeled. And you can see there's only 5 showing. I might want to say, okay, let's try 10. But notice what happens. Now we have numbers with decimals. So we're going to have to do a little math and say, okay, if we're going from 190 to 320, that's a difference of 130. And if I want every 10 to show up on my scale, I would have to have a major grid line. I need 13 of them. So I just enter the number 13, hit enter, and now they will go up by 10s. I can also put a minor scale on it that would actually show other grid lines even though they're not going to be labeled. I can say update. Now we're missing a label here, which would be frequency. I really do not need 1, 2, 3, 4 on my y-axis, so I can't really get rid of it, but I can hide it by saying make the font color white. Okay, one last thing, if we go in and put that label for the y-axis, to find the y-axis you have to actually come up here and switch to left vertical. The title is going to be frequency. So there you pretty much have it. We can continue to shrink this down until it looks more like a dot plot. Notice that you do lose some of your axis title there if you shrink it too far. And then you can simply copy and paste this right into your presentation.